Right now, you are wearing clothes. You probably put them on this morning without even thinking about it. Honestly, you have done it every single day of your life. Every person you ever met does it. Every single person in every country, every culture, and every tiny corner of this planet, even tribes living deep inside rainforest, where it literally boiling hot at over 90 degrees Fahrenheit, wearing something. But have you ever actually stopped and asked why? And no, I don't mean the obvious answer, not stuff like because it's too cold outside or because society say we have to do it. I mean the real deep answer, the one that go back way further than fashion, way further than civilization itself. Clothing didn't start the way you think it did, and the actual reason your ancestors put something on their body, it had absolutely nothing to do with staying warm or nothing to do with feeling ashamed. It actually has to do with something much smaller and honestly much more terrifying. Let's start with the human body. Humans are not absolutely undressed for this planet. Every other large mammal sharing our world comes pre-equipped. Lions have thick, rough hides. Bears have super dense fur. Even our closest relatives, chimpanzees, are covered in thick hair that lock in the body temperature and protect their skin from brutal sun. We have pretty much nothing. Now, somewhere between 3 million and 1 million years ago, our ancestors lost most of their body hair. Scientists have been arguing about why this happened for decades, but the leading theory, backed by research from University of Ottawa biologist Mark Peck, says that losing our hair was actually a massive evolutionary cheat code. Less hair means fewer parasites. Think about it. Lice, ticks, fleas, mites, all of them live and breed in our body hair. Back on the open savanna, where our ancestors were spending hours running long distances, carry a ton of parasites, wasn't just annoying. Diseases actually killed way more early humans than the wild predator ever did. So the human body solved the problem the only way it knew how. It completely ditched the hair, but that immediately triggered a brand new problem. Walking around completely naked in sub-Saharan Africa is totally fine during the day. Sure, the sun is brutal, but our bodies adapted. But the nighttime was a completely different story. Temperatures on the Africa drop incredibly fast. A naked body loses heat like crazy. Freezing nights suddenly became a massive survival problem. This is exactly where most people assume clothing started. Cold body, dead animal nearby, boom, problem solved, right? Well, the actual timeline completely ruined the story. See, humans lost their body hairs around 1 to 2 million years ago, but the earliest physical proof of clothing, like needles, only show up around 100,000 years ago. That is a massive gap of nearly 1 million years. A million years of naked, fire-dependent humans. So, what finally closed that gap? What actually forced humans to start covering themselves? The answer came from a weird experiment that nobody expected. In 2011, a team of evolutionary biologists led by David Reed at University of Florida decided to study especially they tracked the exact moment human body lice split away from human head lice. Head lice live strictly in hair, but the body lice live in clothing. They are basically the exactly same species yet split into two different groups because of a single change in human behavior. The exact moment humans started wearing clothes irregular, body lice got a brand new home. Reed's team could pinpoint exactly when humans started wearing clothes, roughly 170,000 years ago. Not a million years ago when we lost our hair. Not 40,000 years ago when cave art started popping. It puts the birth of clothing almost exactly the start of last major ice age. Temperature dropped so severely that huge part of Africa became completely unlivable. Humans didn't invent clothing because they were curious or creative. They invented it because they were literally about to freeze to death. But even then, warmth doesn't explain the whole story. Because if staying warm was only reason, you just expect clothes to completely disappear the moment temperature warmed back. But that is not what happened at all. Clothing became permanent. It became universal. At one point, what you wore stopped being what the weather and started being about who you were. Your tribe, your wealth, your beliefs, your journey. your exact role in the community. Every single society on earth developed this completely on their own. The chief wore something totally different from the farmer. The priest looked completely different from the soldier, because you could completely read a person's entire background through their clothes before they even opened their mouth to speak. And then things got even weirder. Clothing became a mortal rule. Almost every major civilization, completely separate from one another, came with the idea that the naked body was shameful. You see it everywhere. The Book of Genesis, ancient Roman laws, Japanese culture codes. Covering your body was a good and virtuous. Show it off was a crime. Clothing doesn't just change how other people see you. It literally changes how you see yourself. What you wear actually rewires your psychological state, your confidence, your identity, and your entire behavior. When you slide into a uniform, you instantly become the role that uniform represents. For soldiers, doctors, judges, or priests, the version of you that exists in the real world. If you strip all of that away, most people don't just report feeling cold or exposed. They literally feel like themselves has been completely removed. You got dressed this morning without even thinking about it. But when you did, you were repeating a ritual your species has been practicing since before recorded. Congratulations, only 5% of people in the world know that why humans start wearing clothes. Means you are now smarter than 5% of total world. Don't forget to subscribe us.